Hey guys, all right, so I'm starting here to show you guys. It's 2:53 a.m. on February 11th, 2023. 2:53 a.m. I am conducting this video. All right, so from the beginning. All right, so what the Bible and A Course in Miracles have in common. And then plus I'll show you a bunch of other things. All right, so the Bible is about people hearing from God. So what they see in dreams or hear from God is what was recorded in the Bible. Paul in the Bible was a prophet that heard from God and is responsible for much of the New Testament teachings. A Course in Miracles teaches Christians what God really meant, what Jesus meant when he came here, what certain words mean, such as the Son of God. The Son of God is all beings, because God only has one creation. Jesus said, I and the Father are one, because Jesus realized his oneness with God. Jesus says in John 14:12, very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father. So both the Bible and A Course in Miracles is people channeling God. But the only difference is A Course in Miracles is more accurate because the person is actually channeling. So there's angels speaking through the person. When the person is in a meditative state, laying down, angels are speaking through their mouth. So the words coming out of their mouth is actually the angels speaking. Where the Bible, they just had dreams or prophecies, or they thought they heard thoughts from God. But sometimes when you think you hear thoughts from God, it could either be your own voice or God's voice, or even the voice from demons. So the Bible was created because people thought they heard from God. Same with the Course in Miracles. People thinking, they hear from God. As we know, sometimes people channel positive densities, angels. Angels are the positive density. And sometimes they channel negative densities, which is the demons, which is what I just went over. So refuting A Course in Miracles as demonic. So as I showed you in the previous screen, that both the Bible and A Course in Miracles is channeled books. That means that they both were people hearing from God. I've heard people say A Course in Miracles is demonic. That is false, because it is channeled work from people hearing from God. So it's channeled work, the angel is speaking through the person, and the words coming out of the person's mouth is, truth from angels. Just like people heard from God and wrote the Bible. But it's different because, they're just having visions or dreams, or they're hearing God speak in their mind. But as we could see in today's world, there's a lot of false prophets and a lot of false prophecies. So that goes to show you that isn't it possible that in the days of the Bible, there's also false prophets and false prophecies? Imagine if everybody in today's world, if they thought they heard from God and then they just, documented it in a book, and then they called it the Holy Bible and say it's the perfect word of God, when we know for sure that isn't the case, because there's been so many false prophets and false prophecies, which my prophecies are 8 for 8. So I have 100% accuracy. So I'm the only one currently right now showing that I actually do hear from God. All right, conclusion. So if people believe that because A Course in Miracles was channeled, so therefore it must be demonic, then you also have to believe that the Bible is demonic because it was channeled as well, but channeled in a different way, through dreams or visions or people hearing things from God. All right, so next. So how will humans be able to do miracles like Jesus did? In John 14:12, Jesus states, very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father. So Jesus, right here, well, Christians believe that Jesus is God, right? Well, Jesus said that we will be able to do the things he has done. So if Christians believe Jesus is God, then they believe that we will be able to do the things God has done, and even greater things than God, right? If we're listening to John 14:12. So how can people do even greater things than God? The Law of One book answers this, that Jesus was a fourth density wanderer that came to this third density planet, now Earth in 2012, it went into the fourth density consciousness. So now the earth is able to have children born into the fourth density consciousness. So so in 2012 it became fourth density planet, but there's still third density souls. If you believe you're separate from God and you believe in separation, that's third density. If you believe in love, compassion, and oneness, that we're one with God, that is the fourth density. And even Albert Einstein talks about this, but I'll talk about that later in the video. So, the Law of One book answers this, that Jesus was a fourth density wanderer that came to this third density humanity to tell the good news that they too are one with God, just as Jesus and God were one. And John 17:20 through 23 talks about this. So when a being is fourth density, they're more evolved and more advanced than us, and they come to a third density humanity, that's going to appear godlike. That's why people thought Jesus was God, because he's actually a fourth density wanderer. And after he died, now he's currently, according to 1981, as of 1981, he's in the fifth density, which is the density of angels. Angels become fifth density. Angels are fifth, sixth, and seventh density positive polarity. All right, John 17:20 through 23. This is what Jesus is saying. My prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one. All people, all humanity may be one. This is what Jesus is praying. Father, just as you and I are one, and I am in you. So people believe Jesus is God. Jesus is also praying for all of us to become one as well, to be one with God. How do you become one with God? You got to realize your oneness with God. Maybe they also be in us so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as you and I are one. I in them and you in me, so that they may be brought to complete unity. The world will know that you sent me and have loved them just as you have loved me. So complete unity, that's how we could obtain complete unity, is when we realize that we are all one with each other and with God. How do we realize this? Imagine if God was a human body and you were just a mere cell in the body of God. That's how we are all one. So Jesus is praying to the Father that all of humanity can be one with Jesus and God, just as Jesus and God are one. That means he's praying for humanity to realize their oneness with God, just as Jesus realized his oneness with God. Separation is an optical illusion, as Einstein once said. He also said that humans are part of the whole being oneness. All right, so Psalm 86:2. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. We are all children of God. You don't have to be a Christian to be a children of God. No matter what, we are all children of God. Psalm 82:1. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. We are gods, claiming us to be gods as well. We're just a cell in the body of God. John 10:34. Jesus answered them, is it not written in your law? I have said you are gods. So then even Jesus says this. So Albert Einstein quote, a human being is part of the whole, called by us universe. A part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feeling as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. So a human is part of the whole in this universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. So this is an optical delusion. When you experience third density, the optical delusion of separation, that is third density. This delusion is kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. So Einstein is saying that we need to free ourselves from this prison, believing that we're separate from each other and we're separate from God, and only having compassion for a few people close to us. And we must widen this circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures, all humans, all beings. So my quote: imagine God being one soul, one being, one spirit, and you being just one cell in the body of God. The water, earth, fire, air, plants, animals, humans, intelligent species on other planets, angels, dimensions, parallel universes, galaxies in space, all encapsulated in this universe as one being. This is what it means to be one with God. We are one in this universe. This entire universe is God, essentially. All right, so this meaning we're gods in the Bible further explains that we are all one with God and one with each other. This proves that in A Course in Miracles, it says that we are the Son of God. We are all the children of God. Just like Jesus was the Son of God, so are we. This is why in John 14:12, it states that we will be able to do the works Jesus did once we evolve to fourth density consciousness, which is a more evolved density than the current third density humans experience life in. Third density believes in the illusion of separation. Jesus realized his oneness with God, which is the fourth density consciousness and above in the positive, fourth density consciousness in our soul evolutionary journey. And there's 7 densities of soul evolutional consciousness. All right, so the third density is the choosing. Jesus was a fourth density wanderer, which is a soul more advanced than humans. So he was in the fourth density. He could have went into the fifth density of wisdom, of light and wisdom, but instead he came to Earth. He went backwards. He went into the third density planet of Earth to spread the good news, to spread the message that we are one with God, to help us bring us back to the Father, bring us back to God, to realize so that we all may be one with God, just like Jesus is one with God. That's the good news, is to realize our oneness with God. All right. So, so Jesus was a fourth density wanderer, which is a soul more advanced than humans. That is why he was able to do miraculous things, such as feed the 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, raise people from the dead, heal the blind, prophesy, walking on water, changing water to wine, and putting a man's cut off ear back on. So healing. And he also healed the paralyzed, etc. You either choose service to self or service to others. So Jesus said we'll be able to do these things one day. We just have to evolve to the higher densities of consciousness, which is expanding your awareness. When you expand your awareness, when you obtain knowledge, such as the knowledge that I'm giving you right now, this is how you expand your consciousness. You raise your consciousness to the higher densities so that you could do more miraculous things that Jesus did. This is very possible. If not in this lifetime, maybe the next lifetime. You either choose service to self or service to others. Fourth density positive is choosing service to others. Fourth density negative is service to self. You have to be at least 51% service to others to graduate into the new earth of fourth density. If you're not 51% or greater service to others, then you reincarnate into another third density planet. It has to be a different planet because Earth is now a fourth density planet. So now, if you don't graduate to the fourth density consciousness and you, in your next lifetime, then you have to go to a different planet that supports third density life. Becoming a demon is actually really difficult because one would have to be 95% or greater service to self to graduate to fourth density negative of becoming a demon. A soul would have to basically kill, steal, and rape their entire life to become 95% negative. So that's what this lifetime is about, the choosing. In conclusion, A Course in Miracles, Law of One, and the Bible were all channeled works. Where actually Law of One was channeled, A Course in Miracles was channeled. The Bible was, prophets hearing from God. people having dreams and visions from God. But Moses, I'm going to talk about that soon. If someone believes Law of One or Course in Miracles is demonic, then they must also believe the Bible is demonic, since they all claim to have heard from God. The Law of One talks about prophecy and states that Moses heard from the demonic when he gave the 10 Commandments, since control, manipulation, and telling others what to do is of the negative polarity. And harmony, love, oneness, compassion, one with God, wholeness, that's of the positive polarity. And giving people their free will. When you let people have their free will, then you go more towards the positive polarity. When you try to take away people's free will, then you go towards the negative polarity. Jesus tells us in John 14:12 that we can do greater works than he did. The Law of One books show us how. That once we evolve to fourth density consciousness, just as Jesus was a fourth density being and now is in the fifth density, that we too can do works Jesus did and even greater things than he did once we evolve to the higher levels of soul evolution, such as the fourth density. That's what the new earth is, the fourth density. The rapture is souls going to the third density planet that do not evolve to the fourth density of love and compassion. Being 51% or greater service to others is what's going to graduate you to this new earth. So you don't want to get left behind. If you're not at least 51 service to others, you could be left behind. And you won't go to hell. You'll just be going to a third density planet and doing another life just like you had here on earth. You have to do it again. You have to redo it again. It's like flunking out of the class. It's like flunking a grade. Because earth is essentially a school. All right, so Jesus' entire life was service to others and was full of love and compassion for others. Jesus was a perfect example of a fourth density being. All right, what God told me, that's a different video. What God told me about junk food. All right, so so that's what I wanted to show you, that just refuting those claims and showing you guys everything that I showed you guys. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.